Welcome back, everybody. We're back for more Aliit Beskar. Um, we're going to be infiltrating a Star Destroyer, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm really excited to see how these characters handle everything. Before we jump into all the action, though, I'm going to give everybody a chance to introduce themselves and their characters, and then we'll hop to it. So, starting in the top left, we've got Vanessa. Tell us a little bit about Anaka and yourself.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I am a traditional artist. I do mainly pencil sketch and watercolor, and also a little bit of digital art as well. You can find all of my art online on my Twitter at PepperoDraws. It's Pepper like the candy. Or on my Ko-fi page, which is coffee.com/PepperoPrincess, if you'd like to take a look at my work there. I play Anaka. She is a Dark Force user, kind of roped into this whole ordeal by Bevan, who is an acquaintance of hers. She's done some work with him on a couple of different occasions, but that's the only reason she's here is kind of for her own vendetta, and she's not going to be sharing that anytime soon. So that's that.
Fun. Next, we would normally have Nikki playing Ilsa. We're hopefully should be able to get her at the break, which will be in about an hour and a half or so. But she was running a bit behind today, but hopefully we'll pick her up at the break and we'll let her introduce everything then. But very cool person. If you're not following her on Twitter, definitely give a follow because she's pretty awesome. Next, we'll hop up to Matt. Tell us a little bit about Jai and yourself.
Hi, I'm Matt. And I am playing Jai Soren, the son of a clone and another mystery individual raised by his two Mandalorian dads. No, you cannot call him Shriekawk. That's only for his dad. He turns out he is a delightful idiot, this precious summer child.
Awesome. And what about you?
Oh, hi. I just got out of a car after a 5-hour trip after moving to a friend into an apartment today, so I'm tired. I stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays most weeks, and I have some podcast work that I do. You can find me on Twitter.
Fantastic. Next, we'll hop down to Hope. Tell us a little bit about Muxo and yourself.
Okay, I play Muxo, who is human scout daredevil. The daredevil's the important part. She looks like a mix between Leslie Hall and Ace Rimmer from Red Dwarf. So very flamboyant, shiny gold pants and cape. Kind of standard, Mandalorian armor. Might be some hot pink on there somewhere. And she is just plain and very happy with it.
We're here for it. Love to see it.
Yep. And she definitely leans more toward the Leslie Hall side because I have no problem with playing a fat character. I like it. And so she's like 230 pounds, 5'6", and she lives life for as long as that's going to last. We'll see. I'm Hope Tracy.
I was just say it depends on how this mission goes, but I'm sure you'll be fine.
There's always another mission after. If not this one, the next. I'm Hope Tracy. You can find me on Twitter at HopeTracy71, and more importantly, also on Mondays on Lady Saito's channel, where I play a middle-aged elf who is the auntie of another character. And I took that thread of auntie videos that was going around Christmas very seriously when I've been shaping her. So
fantastic. All right, and then last but not least, we've got Mr. Parr with Zadu. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your character.
I am Mr. Parr. I am a guy on the internet. I am playing Zadu Baka, so much cooler than I am, truthfully. He is a Twi'lek soldier in the Star Wars Saga Edition system. And I basically frame him up as a space samurai. You know, the whole sort of slight honor code thing.
It works. All right. And I guess that just leaves me. I'm Raven. I play everybody and everything else in the universe that we're playing in here. I'm also the art director, or the creative director rather, for the Raven Evermore, which is my brand for everything that I do, from making tabletop systems like Fundamental RPG, doing art and commissions. All of the stuff behind us is my stuff. I do all the overlays and cover art for the games on the channel, and a whole bunch of other stuff too. You can check out everything that I do at my Linktree, which is right there. And then also quickly talk about sponsors, which Admin just mentioned one. Intrepid is also something that I do. It's adventuring gear for IRL. So D&D and tabletop RPG styled and themed items, like exercise gear and clothing and things like that, water bottles, all really cool stuff. You can check all that out at the links that are there in chat. And then also another sponsor is Grinding Coffee Company. You can use the code RAVEN there for 10% off. It's really good coffee. You should definitely check it out. So with all that out of the way, we'll oh wait, there's one more thing I was going to mention. My brain just went completely blank, as it tends to do sometimes. Yes, timeline. Since I know there are some folks just joining us this week who may not have seen last week's. So with the Star Wars timeline, it's already weird in the official canon, and I'm about to make it a whole lot weirder. So we're basically just treating this as its own separate timeline, following largely the old expanded universe, or now Legends timeline, but we may see some Disney canon timeline stuff thrown in there as well. So if you see something or hear something that you're just like, wait, that's not how it happened, that's why. We're kind of taking some creative liberties here with events and happenings and times and things. But the story that we're currently playing in is taking place about 6 months after Return of the Jedi. And then when we left off last week, the crew had met with Bevan Cal, who is an old clone trooper. He was unaltered, much like Boba Fett. And he's kind of putting together a team trying to stick it to the Empire, building up a force to eventually retake Mandalore for the Mandalorians. And this mission is sort of this crew's test to see how they're able to do with kind of minimal instructions, see what they make of it and how they handle it. So the crew was given a Imperial shuttle, an older one, and they've been on their way to where this Star Destroyer, this small fleet actually, is sort of holding position. And their job is to go in there and blow up and or steal a bunch of prototype TIE fighters. They're not your typical normal TIE fighters. So these actually have hyperdrives. So that's kind of the mission and the setup and everything. Quick reminder, the cast, currently we're at 0d6 and 0 crits for the cast and the GM. You can change that by retweeting or commenting on the game tweet, which is in chat. Or there's the different things that you can do via donations right below me in that little box. Starting off where we left off last week, you're just about to the rendezvous point. What's everybody doing on the shuttle?
I'm checking in on, like, we're almost there, so I'm doing a secondary check before we're gonna just chill somewhere for a bit. I would say that I would see how Elsa was doing with her pet, but Nikki's not here right now, so we won't be doing that. I think Muxa would want to ask Zadubaka about his armor.
Okay.
Mm,
Where is Zadu currently on the ship or on the shuttle?
After he's finished meditating, I believe he's just hanging around whatever room he happens to find himself in.
Okay.
So, what's with the decoration there?
Oh, you mean the unique Wookiee painting I've done?
Yes. Is it significant to you?
Yes, indeed. I was raised on Kashyyyk.
Oh, it's just some foreign planet you've never heard of, so.
I was raised alongside Wookiees, and they taught me a great deal. So I wanted to honor that through my armor. While I am now a Mandalorian, my roots were with Wooks.
That's really nice.
Mm.
So where do you see yourself on this thing we've got coming up?
Well, if there's a difficult commander, I would love to have a duel.
If we run into a commander, are you going to look for one?
Oh, only if there's time.
Oh, I mean, we could make some trouble.
I suspect we just might. But I will keep my eye on the mission.
What's Anaka doing right now?
She's not really inclined to chat with anybody. She's just kind of keeping to herself. She is not doing any other prep. She just kind of has her hand propped on the hilt of her lightsaber, and she's just kind of in her own little world. She's not really interacting much with anybody.
Okay. And then who was piloting the shuttle? Okay. Then Mook, so this will be of particular interest to you. You hear a proximity alert, basically just letting you know that you're coming up on your location and that there are ships there, essentially. So nothing unexpected, just a you know that you're about to hit your destination. Is there anything any of you want to do before you are in a potentially perilous situation?
Jai is going to be trying to figure out, based on kind of whatever he can find around him and whatever he's got like on him, the best way to start a really big explosion on a timer or a remote detonator, whatever he can, because apparently this has become his job, is the blowing up portion of the show. And he's gonna really try his best to make a big boom.
Okay. Well, what do you have in your inventory that might go boom?
Boy, I'm not actually sure, because I did not expect Jai to be the explosives expert on this trip. I got a spare blaster I could maybe salvage something out of. I could probably, I could use some of the proceeds to buy a new jetpack, maybe?
That's true. The jetpacks can potentially explode. Blasters can absolutely be overloaded, rigged up to overload, and basically becomes a timed charge. The only trick is it's not like in a matter of minutes and seconds. It's in a matter of roughly, this amount of time ish is when it'll explode.
It's an ish measurement. Okay, so I have a blaster pistol, just a basic blaster pistol. Extra weaponry that you just have on you. Don't worry about it. Well, there have been enough time on this flight for me to basically take 20 on getting that to a point where, all right, I'm going to put this in one of these ties, connect this wire, and then we have an ish amount of time to make the rest of our plan go off.
Yeah. You could do that because they're not terribly difficult to overload, and it's pretty much not quite on the same level as like a thermal detonator, but not too far off from that. So if you set one of those off inside the cockpit of a TIE fighter, it may not cause the TIE fighter to explode. I'm going to say it's probably going to be like a 50-50 chance.
Okay.
But it will destroy everything inside of it. So you can completely just toast that one. It just may not explode and hit others.
So, okay, then my plan that I probably haven't really vocalized to anyone else is plan B, connect the wire, toss it in a tie. But that's plan B, because that involves hoping for the best. Plan A is, well, if this is a hangar bay, there's probably fuel cells somewhere that I can just wedge this against.
Mm-hmm.
That's as far as Jai's gotten, because he's a sweet summer child who just assumes things are going to work out well.
I have a feeling that this group is going to be really, really good for communicating.
You know, with all the technology we have to be right in each other's ears at all times, you'd think, right? But probably not.
Hey, we all have backup characters, right?
Speaking of which,
You have your Sith Ewok, right?
Yes.
I'll
I'll call a meeting when the proximity goes.
Okay. I'm not saying, like you're all gonna die or anything, but backup characters, maybe not a terrible idea.
I got him.
I will make a Gungan see if I don't.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Also,
If my sweet summer child dies, we're getting a Jar Jar.
oh God. Also, because I feel like Jai would just instinctively know this. You do have the shuttle, and it does have fuel in it and things on the shuttle that could be easily made to go boom.
I remember, Jai remembers part of this conversation was we were going to escape in the shuttle. At least some of us were. So he's not including that in his math.
Okay. That's totally
As far as he's concerned, that's off limits until someone tells him, no, you can blow parts of this up.
Not everyone was confident that they could fly a TIE fighter.
That's right. Okay. So with the proximity meeting off, Uxo's calling a meeting, and I'm assuming everyone shows up for this. What do you want to address the group with there, Muxo?
All right, so look, I love running into things and just causing chaos and running back out with the thing I want, but it might not be the best plan, and I'd like to know where you all are going to be.
So who's on the TIE fighter crew?
I'm going to steal one.
Since Nikki's not here, I'm gonna just take control of Ilsa for just a second. I remember Ilsa had academy training, so Ilsa will probably raise her
I think
hand.
that was part of the plan, yeah.
Yeah, and say she can take one.
Okay. So, who's got the combo thing for the passwords?
Oh, the code cylinder.
We need to use it on a bunch of doors. Who's going to do that?
I'm going to be trying to set things to explode, so not at... And he does this to his helmet, like
I
to the
love it.
front key of his helmet.
Zadubaka, you would like access to places. If I remember our conversation of a moment ago.
I can be with the TIE fighter crew. I can be with the coding. I am an adept pilot, but I can also just go through the place. Why not?
Well, we have to get in there.
Yes.
Okay.
Who's going to fly the shuttle back out?
Anaka?
He just looks at Anaka, just generally like, "Can you pilot?"
Now, I'm under the impression that Anaka does not fly. Raven, based on the conversations that we've had about Anaka's training, would that have been something that she would have learned, or would she have been more strictly other sorts of training?
I'm going to say that you have enough training that you should be able to pilot a shuttle by yourself. Given Anaka's past, that would have been something that she would have had to have done on a semi-frequent basis. So you might have a little bit of trouble with TIE fighters. I think the analogy I used last week, it's like going from, your sedan or your SUV and then hopping in a Formula One car. They're both cars, but there's a big difference in how you drive them. So like you could probably, manage, but it would be difficult. But the shuttle you should have no problem with. And okay. I'm not going to make you roll for basic flying on most vehicles. It'll be like, if you're getting shot at, then you're going to have to start rolling pilot.
Mm-hmm. Anaka kind of turns to being addressed, and she says, I feel comfortable enough with the shuttle, yes. But I would just like to make it very clear that should any of you, how to put it delicately, if any of you should get yourself in a predicament where you need help, just don't expect it from me.
All right then, I'll make a note. So we're almost there. Places, everyone?
All right. About the time that you finish saying that, that's when the star lines show up and then sort of quickly condense down into little points of light. Mm-hmm. As now you see a star field with, let's say, I'm trying to think of the size of the fleet that's currently there. At least 4 Imperial class Star Destroyers, probably 3 Victory class Star Destroyers, and some TIE patrols flying around. Those each patrol having about 4 standard TIE fighters. There's probably about 4 or 5 patrols just sort of lazily circling around the whole fleet.
Does our shuttle have stealth?
No, it's an old beat up Lambda class shuttle. So, but it is Imperial make and markings. So, it's not like you're flying in with a big target on your back. It's just, they're going to notice you, and notice you they do, because they hail you. And, I'm drawing a blank on what her specific Star Destroyer's name was. I'm just gonna make one up. So the voice comes on, and it's an Imperial officer, that very proper Imperial accent, and just says shuttle, some serial number that's on your shuttle. Please state your business here, and transmit your access codes.
I look over to Zaruba.
Oh, I have the access code?
They're on
it's
that
an object.
cylinder.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You
Then
just have to plug it into the console.
Yep. Do you want to be the face?
Do I want to be the face? Let me look at my charisma very fast.
I should probably do that.
I'm sure it would be fine if I was the face with my 10 charisma.
And this is just an audio transmission, so you can just speak for now. You don't have to worry about showing your face.
Okay, and these codes transmit from one of, if I'm not mistaken, a rival of the owner of this?
Yes.
Vessel?
So the fleet that you're infiltrating belongs to Admiral Dala, and the code that you have is from a different admiral.
Ooh. So I could just be like, it's on this admiral's head that we're here.
Yeah, the idea being to when you do this when you do the sabotaging and get away, that it looks like the other admiral did it, not a bunch of Mandos.
Okay. Well, I'll put the code in.
Okay. And because I have to, the camera's going to pan to the bridge of the Star Destroyer, where a very sort of fierce countenance of a woman with red hair, just like these steely, piercing eyes, and a facial expression that looks like she's had the worst day ever for the last 30 days in a row, and is just not ready for any BS from anybody. So the officer nervously looks to her. The officer's sort of if you've seen the Star Destroyer bridge, there's like 2 trenches with a bunch of officers at consoles, and then sort of a catwalk that goes between them. So she's standing on that catwalk looking out the window, and the officer turns and looks to her and says, I've got an unusual shuttle here. She just shoots him a glance, and he gets a little nervous, sort of, the gulp, and messing with the collar of his uniform. And she says, all right, well, what's strange about it? We just weren't expecting any deliveries, ma'am, but they're codes, they're older codes, but they check out. Well, then, let them on board. She sort of waves off the officer and goes back to looking out the window. So a moment later, the officer comes back in and says, all right, you are cleared to land on the Imperial Star Destroyer Savage. Proceed. You'll proceed with your TIE escort. And as he says that, 2 TIE fighters get on either side of you to escort you into the docking bay. So Muxo, you're flying the shuttle. Do you follow this escort into the docking bay? Do you try to do any funny business?
Oh no, it's not the time for suspicion right now.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm not going to make you roll for anything. It's a pretty easy landing. You get the shuttle landed into the bay, and in here, this particular one, you can see there are several other shuttles that look a lot like yours, although they're relatively new. They're not beat up and marred with blaster scoring and things like that. Mm-hmm. And off in the distance, you've sort of got like 2 shuttle or 2 docking bays sort of right next to each other, and there's like a big giant doorway between the 2 of them in the wall that separates the 2, and those doors are open right now, and you can see in the next one over there's a whole bunch of interesting looking TIE fighters that have instead of the 2 solar panels on the sides, they've got 3 in sort of a triangle shape, and you can see those through your viewport in your shuttle, just way off in the distance, mm-hmm. on the far side of the other docking bay. But the TIE fighters don't dock with you. They wave off and go back to their patrol. But you do see a maintenance crew that comes in and plugs in the fuel line, refueling you, checking your stuff. Basically like a sci-fi pit crew, if you will, mm-hmm. checking out your shuttle. And there are also some patrols of stormtroopers just walking around in the docking bay.
Ooh.
Hello, boys. My favorite Star Wars characters, the stormtroopers.
So that's what you all see at a glance. If anybody would like to look closer or investigate anything, you can roll perception to take a closer look.
Yeah, I want to see.
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'll roll some perception. Go ahead.
Okay. I specifically want to be tracking the patrols to see like what kind of amount of time we have after the pit crew leaves to get into the other door. There it is.
$21. Nice. Nice roll.
I'm surprised too.
So yeah,
I'm focused.
Absolutely. So you look a little closer, and you can see there's about 4 stormtroopers and something that you've never really seen before. It looks like a stormtrooper, but it's in like a dark gray armor, not quite black, but it's dark gray. It looks a little bigger and bulkier than a normal stormtrooper, and it has very like droid-like movements. It doesn't really look like a droid from where you're sitting, because it's in the full armor. It's got the helmet and everything, but the movements are very stiff. And
Is this new?
You haven't seen one like it before. Okay. So it's definitely new to you. And there's about 3 patrols like this. Of one of the darker colored armor stormtrooper with 4 regular stormtroopers sort of following 2 by 2, so 2 across, 2 back, right behind them. There's 3 of these patrols, and they seem to be circling in a pattern to where if you wanted to try to like sneak off the shuttle, you're gonna have about 30 seconds, maybe a minute before the other patrol is looking at it. Security seems pretty tight in here.
So how far away is the door?
Roughly, so let's see. I'd say probably about 50 squares away, which a square is 5 feet. So it's a fair distance. You'd have to do an all-out run to cross that.
Stealthily.
Yeah, if you want to try to stealth it, there are a bunch of like shipping containers. There are some fuel cells also that are out there. They're well secured, so there's definitely no way that they would just accidentally explode. However, if you were to strap
we'll see about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you were to strap an overloaded blaster to one, who's to say? But there are things like that you could potentially hide behind and try to do the sneaky route.
Okay.
Yeah, you find plenty of that.
I want to have time to like put my seatbelt on and everything before I have to fly the TIE fighter out of there.
Okay.
Yeah, do we see the ties in question? I'm sorry, I was in a long car ride today.
You're totally fine. Yeah, that was without even needing a roll. You can see what matches the description of what you were sent from Bevan.
Cool.
They're on the far side of the other hangar. And as I mentioned, they have 3 of those panels in a triangle pattern. So like one on the top, kind of like the shuttle actually that you're in. 2 down and at an angle, and 1 on the top.
I would like to do a perception, just kind of in general, but mostly focusing on useful terrain and opportunities in the immediate area of the shuttle.
Okay. Go ahead and give it a roll. An 11.
Not great.
You know that you could hide behind the shuttle.
It's big.
Yep. Shuttles are big, and they can hide a full-sized Mandalorian behind them. You assume there's probably some like storage containers around, but you didn't actually notice them. There's like
I love Jai already.
Right?
There's
like a weird
sweet summer child.
He's
like
trying his best.
Fingerprint right around the nose area of the helmet. And you just kind of have to keep like looking around it for weird fingerprint for some reason.
It keeps moving with me, and I don't get it yet.
Are you expressing this in any way that you don't feel like you've seen a lot of cover?
Oh no, I'm just gonna go like, okay, so I need to hide behind the shuttle to get to the fuel tanks.
Okay, so are all the people leaving the shuttle going to fly out in a TIE fighter? Or are we retrieving anybody?
he like gestures and I go, "We're using the shuttle, right? Was that the plan?"
Are you coming back? Are you coming with us and then going back to the shuttle? How do you want to?
Well, I was gonna go blow up the fuel tanks.
Anaka.
I'm certainly available to help you do whatever it is you feel you need to do. But yes, the plan was to take the shuttle away as well.
Yeah, but do you want to come out and play?
So the usually like the very kind of stoic demeanor that she usually has in place, there's just a little tiny bit of a sparkle that comes out from behind that when you say want to play, and it looks like she might almost smile, but then she doesn't. But she just kind of looks at you and goes, "I'll never say no to playing. So I suppose I'll come and join you."
Great. Did we have one code thing or two?
You have one code cylinder.
Okay.
Before
Anaka
we
wasn't
move
enthusiastic
on,
about it if you wanted to do that.
sorry, what was that?
Zadut wasn't enthusiastic about running around and putting codes into things if you wanted to take that on.
She doesn't say anything. She just holds out her hand.
Okay. You can get to the TIE fighter faster this way.
I'd send it over.
Great.
Wherever I work.
And she kind of like palms it and kind of balances it in her hand.
Happy stealthing.
Yeah. Before they move on anywhere, Raven, could I also make a perception check to see if, in addition to the stormtroopers that are visible here, is there anything further, like anything that is not yet visible?
Yeah, you wanted to use like a use the force type deal.
Yeah, so she has force perception, so she kind of wants to use that to probe a little bit further than what is just plainly visible.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll that. That's a use
26.
the force check, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with a 26, it's pretty decent. Pretty good. There are definitely more people outside of this docking bay. You're able to sense that it's pretty much a fully complemented Imperial Star Destroyer. So there's lots of stormtroopers on board. No like high concentration of them around you, and so just normal patrols, things like that. There's some officers around. There is sort of a catwalk around both docking bays, and in both of them there's like sort of this how to describe it, like the tower at an airport. I'm drawing a blank on words today. My vocabulary doesn't want to work. But there's like consoles, and they can monitor everything that's going on in the docking bays and clear people to land or take off, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple of officers in there, a couple of stormtroopers. You don't sense anything from the dark gray armored stormtroopers. They don't exist in your force perception. I need to roll something, actually.
So based on the information that she has with this kind of extra bit of probing, do you figure she'd be able to map out kind of a path in her mind that brings her through the least resistance on the way to the other bay where the other TIE fighters are?
Yeah, I'd say let's do it this way. You know where people are, so wherever you want to go, I'll just give you advantage on your stealth checks.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that's a big number. Roll use the force again.
All right, I suppose. 22.
as you're reaching out and trying to sense around and see what's around you, you suddenly feel really, really cold. And you feel like you may have gotten someone's attention. What was your roll again? Your second roll? Vanessa?
Sorry, I was talking to my mother. What was the
No
question?
worries. What was the second roll again?
22.
22? Okay. So you're quickly able to like pull back from that presence to hide yourself, and you well enough that you don't think they're onto you being here. But it's definitely like the equivalent would be if you tripped over a can or something like that, and a guard went to go check it out, but then didn't see anything and just kind of assumed it was maybe they were just hearing things. Like the force equivalent of that is kind of what you sense just happened. But whatever that is, it's definitely a lot more powerful than you are. And it's definitely a force user.
Once she kind of gets that sense of more powerful than her, immediately sours her mood. She doesn't like that. But she doesn't say anything.
Okay. So doesn't let the rest of the group know that there's a powerful force user on board. Cool.
Yeah. So she doesn't say anything.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mechanically, I will say that every time you do use the force, there is a chance that this person could pick up on it. So
Okay.
do keep that in mind.
Sure.
It's not a for sure thing, so don't feel like you can't use the force, but there is a small chance every time that they could notice you again.
Okay.
And that could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. It kind of depends on how things play out, but all right. Are you all leaving the shuttle then?
Very quiet.
Okay. Let's start with it seems like Muxo's probably going to be the first one out the door.
Yeah.
So Muxo, let me get a stealth roll from you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to roll for the stormtroopers.
Oh, good. I took a proficiency in it. I had a moment
All right.
of doubt. 18?
18 for stealth.
Yep.
Yeah, you're good. You're able to slip out of the shuttle unnoticed. There's one patrol of the gray stormtrooper and the other four that just passed by, and you time it so just as they turned their heads away, you slip out. There's a bunch of storage crates right around the shuttle that you're easily able to hide behind, and you're feeling pretty hidden right now.
Okay.
Who's going to be next off the shuttle?
Probably Par.
I
Ilsa?
should get off last.
Oh, well, I mean, the fighter crew should probably be making their way together.
Okay. I'm going to say Ilsa just goes with you, Muxa, and we'll have your same stealth rolls for now.
Sure. Yeah.
So she's also hunkered down
Fingers
really
crossed for her.
Yeah. All right. So Muxo and Ilsa are off the shuttle and well hidden. Who's leaving next?
Anaka will go.
All right. That will need a stealth roll.
All right. 19.
19. Yeah, that's pretty good. Definitely higher than any of these stormtroopers got. So you're also able to sneak off. Do you go to those same cargo container things, or are you gonna? Those are sort of off to the left towards the TIE fighters, or you could go to the right, which has more shuttles sort of lined up on the opposite wall, and that's more like going towards the door you'd need to go through to get to the rest of the ship.
No, she's gonna go to the left towards the bay with the TIE fighters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you're also behind one of those cargo containers that's not too far away from Muxo and Ilsa.
Okay.
Which just leaves Jai and Zadu on the shuttle.
Or I'll roll stealth.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I freaking love it.
That's exactly what I
so-
was expecting.
So, to Zadu's credit, you're actually being pretty quiet, but you mistimed the patrol, and so you step out of the shuttle right in front of the dark gray armored stormtrooper or the white armor ones right behind them. And I'm assuming you're in your Mando gear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That draws a little attention. The dark gray one holds up a hand very stiffly and makes a bunch of weird, deep-sounding robotic noises, which don't really register as words to you. But one of the regular stormtroopers sort of steps forward and translates for you and says, "Halt! What are you doing here? We're not expecting any Mandalorians on board."
I am part of the... Let's just say I was sent here by Admiral... Forgot the other admiral's name.
I can't remember what we named him either.
Did we know the other admiral?
Are we
We do
here
know the name.
on like?
Okay.
Are you talking about the name that's on the cylinder?
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't you say that was Admiral Dalla?
No, that's the admiral who you're blowing up her toys.
Oh,
It's
okay,
the
okay.
other admiral.
Damn,
we'll
I thought I
just-
was onto something there.
I can't remember what name it was now. I should have written that down. We'll call them Admiral Pell, and if it's different from last episode, oh well.
Right. I'm here on behalf of Admiral Pell. We've been sent over.
Does Admiral Dalla know about this?
Yes. In fact, when we got in, we...
I'm gonna need a deception roll on that.
Deception, huh? What did you want to take another?
I'm really waiting for the boring conversation anyways moment of this.
Yep.
Twi'leks can re-roll any deception check, but I'm wondering if I can get higher than 11.
What's your modifier?
+1.
That's what. Oh. Yeah, that's a 50-50 chance, really.
I'll stay. I'll stay.
All right. So the good news is he doesn't immediately become hostile. Bad news is he's not entirely convinced either. So he sort of puts a finger on his helmet. It's like, I'm going to have to get this checked out. Wait here. And you can hear him on his radio talking to somebody else. You don't really hear the other side of the conversation, but he's like, so I've got a Mando here? Yeah, Mando. Weirdest thing. Says Admiral Pell sent him. No, I didn't hear anything either. Well, what do you want me to do with him? Do you do anything while this guy's having this conversation?
What are the rest of his troops doing?
They're just standing there waiting. They're at attention, but they have E11 blaster rifles in their hands, but they're angled down, like they're just holding it on patrol. They're not pointing it at you.
We have our group comlinks going between our helmets, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I can hear this?
Yes.
So tempted to just...
I want to use the onboard computer that's now presumably tied into the Star Destroyer's network because it docked here, and try to fix this problem.
All right.
Digitally.
How do you want to try to fix it?
Well, I have a really high used computer, so I basically want to slice in, just like try to get a message into the system between whoever the stormtrooper's next level of command is and Dala. I want to like intercept that and be like, no, this is fine.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do a use computer check.
Oh, please. I mean,
That's pretty darn good.
maybe.
So a 24. So on the radio, you hear the guy continuing his conversation, and then he looks back at you, Zadu, and says, "All right, hold on. My superior has to check it out with his superior. You know how it is. This might take a minute." So all the stormtroopers are pretty much just standing at attention, staring at you. And then Jai, you're able to slice in. You're so far undetected, doing pretty well. And you're able to access the like personnel transfer orders file, if you will, or folder. What do you want to put in there?
Admiral Pell sending over an advanced team of outside specialists to verify security before his visit.
Wait, they only know about one.
Okay.
Team. I'm going to come down in a minute, and I want to be covered too.
I'm sorry, I'm going to be a little mean because I'm sure Jai doesn't have a whole lot of stats on this, but I need a knowledge bureaucracy check to make sure that sounds legit.
Boy, I mean, my modifier's not bad, but I don't have any training in it.
Oh no.
Not bad, actually.
Hey, nice.
Pretty
Okay,
good.
17.
Pretty good.
Look, it is
my dads were
passable.
real specific.
Yeah. It's fine. If anybody inspects it really carefully, it might look a little fake. But a cursory inspection, you should be fine.
Perfect.
You get that order in there. A couple minutes later, that stormtrooper addresses Zadu again and says, "Oh, okay. Apparently the memo just didn't make it down the line. So Admiral Pell's really coming here?"
Yes, we're sort of just an advanced party, really.
Yeah, I definitely want to have, like, the whole time I was slicing, just be like, Muxo, Zadu, I'm covering us. Just buy me a few seconds more. We're going to be an advanced team for Admiral Pell. It's okay.
Oh, yeah, the whole time Zadu's definitely just staring down the stormtroopers in a way that's not intended to be menacing at all, but he's not saying anything either. Just like the quiet stare down.
Perfect. The stormtrooper does get a little bit curious, though. He's like, "So, is it true what they say about his height? Is he really that short?"
Ooh. Well, you didn't hear this from me. And you should keep it down, keep it to yourself and your friends, but he really is.
Huh. Good to know. All right, well, looks like everything's clear here. We'll have an officer sent down to escort you around, show you where, I guess, where you'll be meeting. All right, carry on. And the droid puts the dark gray armored stormtrooper thing that I've pretty much already said is a droid, so I'm not going to worry about that. Puts his hand down, and they proceed on their patrol. What do you do?
Well, that went better than expected. I'm going to not wait around.
All right.
While that group is caught up checking the higher ups, what kind of attention has that drawn from the other patrolling units?
They're a little bit distracted. They keep looking over during that whole conversation, but they're still on their round since they see that the other patrol seems to have it under control.
Okay, so even with just like that little tiny bit of distraction, would that open up enough room for Anaka to leave on her own to head further in towards the TIE fighters?
Yeah, I think you could definitely time that well. It'll be a stealth roll to see how well.
Okay.
But there's definitely an opening there now. They're not paying total attention.
And do I take an advantage on each stealth roll, or is it just when in need?
Yeah, any stealth roll to get around the ship right now, since you know where everybody is.
Okay, I'm gonna re-roll that one.
Okay.
Much better. That's a 30.
Oh yeah, you're basically invisible. You're able to get like just barely inside the other docking bay, and crouch down behind probably some fuel cells actually.
The first roll was a 3 and the second was a 19.
Nice. Muxo, you're still behind this crate with Ilsa. You've been able to hear everything on the radio. What would you? Are you good there? Or are you gonna keep moving?
Once the patrol passes, and it's a good time because I'm paying attention, I'm gonna keep moving on, and I'm not gonna reveal myself.
Okay.
Yet.
Let's do another stealth roll then.
My rolls have been all over the place lately. I'm sorry in advance, Elsa. Okay. That's actually better. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. There was one roll I had that I think was a little bit higher than that with their modifier, but since they're distracted with Zadu, they don't catch you. So you're able to get about
It's amazing that I
half-
can do so well with what I'm wearing. It's like you can't quite believe that something that bright is really like darting across the side of your vision. So you're just like, I gotta get some sleep.
Must be the lights from the console. Oh man. Yeah, you're able to get about halfway to the other docking bay. Moving a little bit slower because the armor and everything. But you can see where Anaka is. Like you're able to see each other from your hiding spots.
Okay.
So you can make visual cues and things like that. Going back to Zadu, are you waiting around for this officer to show up and escort you around the Star Destroyer, or are you heading out before he gets here?
It seems like a poor idea, and yet so tempting. Stick around and get a tour, or move on. But then wouldn't they just search the shuttle? Like, where's everyone going? Where's the guy I'm supposed to meet?
A tour.
Jai hasn't come out yet, right?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I don't know what Jai's expressly planning to do, right?
Something set things to blow up later.
Oh.
It's
right.
very much a step 1 underpants, step 2 question mark, step 3 profit.
Right. I guess I'll stick around and deal with whatever guide they bring. Get moving.
Okay. You've got about 5 minutes before this officer shows up. So is Jai getting out of there in that 5 minutes, or are you staying on the ship?
Jai's going to go ahead and go since he feels very confident in everything that he pulled off to help Zadu. He's not going to stealth. He's just going to walk right across the entire hangar bay, right over to the nearest fuel cells. Like, he has a data pad out, and he is like, he's doing this like where he's looking around and noting the patrol routes and like noting all of the equipment in here and just like making marks so that if anyone comes and asks him, he's going to be like, well, now you're disturbing me, so your score is going down on the readiness scale. Like, he is going to try to BS his way just out in the open all the way over to the fuel tanks.
All right.
You know, auditors need an escort, right?
Not today.
Let me get a deception roll from Jai.
Oh no.
Low
Oh.
DC, low DC on this. Just enough to have that air of like I'm supposed to be here and you need to leave me alone.
Oh, yes.
Great. Charisma's one of my worst scores. Oh my
Oh,
god.
wow.
The force is with you all today.
Hey, Jai is feeling it. Jai's is like, no, I'm doing good. We're gonna blow this thing up.
Yeah, one of the stormtroopers breaks formation to come talk to you, and then just sees your body language and just sort of nopes and goes right back into formation.
He does like the slow like helmet turn just a little bit and then just like back.
Yeah, perfect. And the stormtrooper just nopes out of there, goes right back into formation. They leave you alone. So you're roughly about where Anaka is, I would say, since you were just able to walk right over there without having to crouch down or anything.
I have a question. I know the three Mandos have our helmets all linked up. Are we able to talk to Anaka and Ilsa?
I believe Ilsa has I think Ilsa's Mando as well, if I remember right.
Okay.
So she's got a helmet package.
She's got a helmet.
Anaka, I don't think has a helmet or a comm package or anything like that. It's probably just a handheld comm.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We're gonna have to work on that later, but okay.
You
but
need to
you
wear a
can
helmet so you
literally-
can do the dramatic reveals.
It's true. You
Shake
could
your
literally
hair.
whisper to each other right now, though. You're so close.
I think what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna like jot a note down on my data pad and then like set it down on something nearby and then like go over and like very carefully and like boisterously inspect something else. But basically like the note is just like, hey, we're covered. Say you're with the Mandos if anyone catches you.
All right. So yeah, Naka, you now have this information.
She just gives you kind of like a little nod. That's it.
And then eventually I'll pick up the data pad and continue on my way.
Okay. Around that time, you need 5, by the way, Vanessa, to answer your question.
Yeah. We have that. Hello.
Nice. Fantastic. So that is going to be a D6 to the cast. So Zadu, probably around that time, there is a kind of frazzled-looking lieutenant that comes through the door and starts quickly walking, sort of power walking over to you, moving very quickly, and sort of straightens his hat at the last second and stands up in front of you and says, yes, I'm Lieutenant Perkins. I understand you're scheduled to do a security inspection of our vessel.
Yes, Admiral Pell sent us over.
Yes, I saw the memo. I apologize, but we had a breakdown in communication or something. I only just now received it, but I'd be happy to show you around the Star Destroyer. Is there a specific area that Admiral Pell is worried about?
Is there a specific place that you're... What's the most interesting place you could go to on a Star Destroyer?
Well, I
Lots
mean,
of
if you wanted to
places.
duel a commander,
I mean,
I imagine it'd be the bridge.
Ooh.
oh no.
We're really going to jump headfirst into this in what is essentially the first session, huh?
Hey, how strong this guy look, by the way?
All right, so I need to start rolling up that Jar Jar. Got it.
I tell you,
Okay.
Sorry, what was that question, Zadu?
how long does this guy who's giving me how strong does the guy that's giving me the tour look?
Oh, he's a lieutenant. He's like a second lieutenant too. He's definitely a gopher for other officers.
Damn, disappointing.
Yeah.
We're here for a frame job. I want. Here's what I'm gonna do. Here's my crazy idea. I think Zadu wants to get this guy potentially alone, and fight him. Obviously, knock him out, but basically be like, I've spared you. Admiral Pell's coming with, a fleet to like take you
Okay.
down.
Okay.
Like this is just security inspection. No, this is the advanced party. That's sort of why. Where it's like,
that's fair. Did you want to do that on the bridge, or is there a different place you want him to take you to?
I'm so this character's like, I haven't had a good duel in a while. The bridge is perfect, but what's another place that could be secluded?
Yeah, I mean, you do know that Admiral Dala is on this ship and that she would be on the bridge. Other secluded areas, the prisoner level would be fairly secluded. There are the mess kitchen area, maybe. There's lots of places that would have, I suppose, fewer people milling about.
Interesting that you've said that. The prisoner level sounds perfect. I'd love to see who they have down there, if anyone.
Okay.
Yes. Let's start with the prisoner level, shall we?
As you say that, the color like drains from his face just a little bit, and he kind of coughs. It's like the prison level. I mean that's no problem, sir. You're not Imperial. I'm not sure how to address you. I'm just going to call you sir. Why is Admiral Pell interested in the prison level, if I can ask?
Unfortunately, we've heard some interesting reports that things may not have been as tightly guarded as the Empire would like.
Okay, sure. Do you need your team? He like looks over at the shuttle and is like, do you need your team with you? You can bring the whole gang.
I will be enough for this endeavor.
Okay. Right this way, sir. And he sort of straightens at the collar of his uniform again, and then starts walking more confidently. And you can clearly see that he's trying very hard to appear confident, and he's not. So he starts taking you off towards the prison level. You take an elevator or a turbo lift or whatever it's called in Star Wars. I'm mixing my sci-fi shows, but you take the elevator to the prison level, which is up a couple of levels from where you are. The door opens and you hear some unpleasant sounds. Sounds like someone's being interrogated. So you hear the electrical zappy kind of sounds and people screaming and whatnot. And that's where we're gonna pause right there and head back to the cargo bay. So Anaka, Jai, and Muxo. Jai, everybody is basically assumes you're okay to be there since you were left alone. Muxo and Anaka, you're still well hidden.
Yeah.
What do you
I
want
want
to
to
do?
stay hidden because I want to. So I do want to make my way into the other bay. Figure out which the best one is, and steal it.
Okay.
That's my goal.
Okay. Let's do a mechanics roll. I'm gonna say at this point, you know the patrols well enough. I'm not gonna make you keep rolling stealth. You can get up to like where Anaka is without having to worry about it.
Yeah, they're not that suspicious either because they know people are moving over there.
Yeah.
Just a 12.
12. It's kind of hard to tell from here. they all look like they're about the same. There really isn't one that seems better than another one.
Mhm.
The one in the front of the line might be better just because it's easier to get out the door.
How much like flying room is there in here?
Not a lot. Like maneuvering inside the docking bay is going to be a bit tenuous.
So there's a chance I could look clumsy instead of badass if I took one from the back just to show off.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
That
Can't
could
have
be
that.
very bad. I mean, good for accomplishing your primary objective, bad for you surviving it. But they are in they're in 3 rows of 4, so there's a dozen total.
What does Jai look like? He's getting on with what he's supposed to be doing, or is there still time to like create some more chaos?
What is Jai doing at this moment?
I'm just walking across the base. I don't think I'm there. I don't think I'm to the fuel tanks yet, so there's still some time.
Okay. So I'd like to try a few more like mechanical things. Maybe I'm assuming I'm assuming that he's going to create an explosion in the center. So I want to like go around and see if I can like do any kind of like not easy to repair sabotagey things to one or two of them.
Okay. Yeah.
I know that the mechanics roll wasn't impressive, but that's how dice work.
It's true. I'm gonna say with the way things are set up and the mechanics roll, your best bet is probably to hop inside of one, and then you're pretty sure you could sabotage from inside the cockpit.
Okay.
Unless you have like any explosives or anything like that in your inventory.
I mean, I don't think so.
Okay.
I didn't know that was an option when I was planning my character.
That's fair. Oh, hey! Thanks for that raid. Nerds with Dice coming in with a party of 8. Thank you so much. Very much appreciate that raid. Hope you had a good stream. Welcome in. We're playing some Star Wars, about to blow up some TIE fighters inside a Star Destroyer, hopefully without killing the party in the process.
And fly them.
Yes, and fly them. All right, so yeah, let's get. We'll do a series of rolls here. So let's do. Each one's going to be a stealth and mechanics roll, and I'll say you've got enough time to do this to 3 Star Destroyers, TIE fighters.
Okay. So you want me to roll 3 times each of those things?
Yes.
Okay.
3 stealth rolls and 3 mechanics rolls.
Sure. I'll do.
Okay.
So that's my first stealth roll. Like it's just a little.
So you're still hidden. You're able to get inside the first TIE fighter with a 12 on mechanics.
Oh, that was my previous roll.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yep.
Roll mechanics, yeah.
Give me another chance.
Oh, yeah. No, you're totally fine. You're able to rig this thing up basically so it's like as soon as somebody hits the ignition button on the engines, the whole thing just blows up.
Oh no. Okay. Okay, so second one.
So you'll need stealth again to get out of this one and into a second one.
Yep. Yeah, I don't actually want anybody to see me doing this. I'm fine with them know we were here, but oh, how?
Nice. Yeah, completely invisible.
I'm getting really comfy. I got a groove going on until I fail this roll.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
I don't know what's happening, but I'll take it.
Same kind of deal. And it doesn't have to be as soon as somebody presses the ignition button, it blows up. It can be whatever you want, but you can definitely accomplish that scale.
My third stealth roll is only a 10.
Oh no. As a reminder, you do have a d6 from the viewer actions, and you also have force points each level, which work basically the same way. They renew every time you level up. So you do have
I'm
those that you
doing
can add on
so-
to things.
Everything's going so smoothly. I think I do want to use a force point.
Okay.
With the die. So that's only a 13, so that didn't really help that much, but it helped a little.
I'll say this: you're able to rig up two of these TIE fighters so they'll explode, and they'll take out another probably one with them. So as soon as people try to pursue, you'll take out 4 TIE fighters essentially out of the 12.
Okay.
So like the whole back row basically.
Yeah, we gotta leave some to fly.
Yeah. But as you are trying to sneak into the third one, one of the deck officers notices you and sort of runs over and goes, hey, that area is restricted. You can't be over there. But assumes you're with the Admiral Pell's security team, so it doesn't like start shooting you or anything like that. But he does say like, you can't be over here, and tries to escort you away.
I'll allow him to escort me away, but I will be heading toward Jai.
Okay. Anaka, what are you doing during all of this?
Good question. I've been trying to concoct some sort of plan. I've had like 17 different ideas, and I don't know which one. I did originally have a plan with one of my force powers, but unfortunately it only affects one target at a time, so I'm trying to figure out how that would work. All right, so you said that they've been rigged up to take out the back 4 of the fighters, right?
Well, I haven't said
Correct.
anything. Yeah, but yes.
No, I mean Raven.
Yeah. Which
and
Anaka
there are
probably
12
would have been able to see Muxo doing stuff, so you know that like the back ones are probably taken care of.
Okay, and you said there are 12 total, right?
Correct.
And how many of our party are flying them out? Anaka taking the shuttle, and is everybody else taking a fighter?
I don't know if Ilsa is.
I'm going in the shuttle with Inaka. I think
Okay.
Ilsa was going to fly a fighter.
Ilsa's
yeah.
flying.
Okay. So 3 of us
Ilsa,
are.
Muxo and Zadu are taking fighters, is that right?
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah,
All
that's
right.
the plan.
So there are five fighters left that we have to deal with. Has Anaka seen? So Jai, your plan was originally to blow up probably like a fuel cell or something. Did you ever communicate to us that was their plan?
Yes.
Anaka would know that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think there were any specifics, but that was like, that Jai's gonna make something go boom.
The general idea. Okay. All right. For now, Anaka is gonna stay close to where she is. These bays, do they have their own doors? Like the bays in general, do they have doors that close?
The doors to outer space. Do you mean?
I'm trying to make like a mental map of how this is laid out. I'm a little confused. Okay, so yes, so there's a set of doors, obviously, to the outside. Are there any additional doors on the inside?
Oops. Yeah, each docking bay has a door that goes like into a hallway that goes out to the rest of the ship, and then there's the giant door between the 2 bays.
Right.
You can go through. The
and-
outside ones are just have like a shield in place that you can pass through.
Right.
So it's keeping all the air in. But there are physical doors that can be closed as well. I keep bumping my microphone. I'm sorry. There are physical doors that can be closed, but they're currently open.
Okay. Are there any terminals nearby that Anaka would be able to access with the code cylinder that she has?
Yeah, there would be some. There's probably a panel actually right next to the giant doors, in between the 2 bays that you could access.
Okay. So she probably wants to do that. it's not to do anything in particular. It's more so just to leave that fingerprint.
Right.
That, like, to say this was the code that was used here. Like, this is the signature. So
Admiral Pell was here.
yeah, pretty much. Big can of spray paint, you know?
Yeah.
So you said that would connect to the doors between the bays?
Yes, it would.
Okay. The doors, are they locked in any capacity, or is it just kind of like a
No,
open close?
they're just open and closed. Like you can lock them, but they're not like locked open. It's sort of like and I think Anaka would probably know this. Like they're not locked closed or open rather, because nobody expects them to be closed without a good reason. Like that just doesn't happen because they're military. So if they did close unexpectedly, that might draw attention.
Okay.
Which could be good for a distraction if you needed it. But
Yes,
if you don't want a distraction, that might be bad. So
yeah, her
keep that in
thought
mind.
is like that would be a good thing to do once she knows that everybody is ready to go.
Yeah.
Is there any location closer to that terminal that she would be able to hide for now? That would put her in a good spot to use that when possible.
Yeah, I mean you're hiding behind some fuel cells, and it's like right next to the terminal. To access the terminal, you would be in the open, but you could try to time it right to where you don't get seen or like nobody's looking. There's not a whole lot of cover on this bay. All the cargo containers and things like that are on the one where the shuttle landed. This is mostly just open, and it looks like it's set up so that the TIE fighters can quickly take off without having to worry about things being moved out of the way or bumping into things on their way out. So there's not nearly as much cover on this side.
Okay. In that case, she's gonna chill it out where she is right now. But the plan, I guess the plan going forward is once she knows that people are kind of ready to jump into action, she would like to use the cylinders at the terminals to kind of like we said, the Pell was here kind of thing. And then kind of close all those access points so that it's a little more difficult for them to kind of figure out where to go.
Okay. So you're accessing that now or waiting for the opportune moment? Was that?
She's gonna wait. She's gonna stay covered.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Making sure I heard that right. Okay. Well, in that case, Jai, you took 20 on the way here to set up that blaster to do the thing. Where are you gonna set it up? Matt.
So I don't want it to be too obvious. I think my goal here is that I want it to take out as like a good chunk of this area and just kind of make a really inhospitable zone. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to like get it wedged in between a few of them, but like down out of sight a little bit. And I'm totally willing to do like a mechanics check or something if I need to figure out what's going to be the best place for the best yield.
Yeah, let's do that. You could also instead do knowledge tactics if you have anything in that.
I'm not trained in that. So I'm going to try, see what mechanics gets me. Well, could be worse.
15. Yeah, it's not terrible. If you were to like drop that into one of the ties, sort of in the middle of the pack, close to one of the ones that Muxo did something to, might get it to fully explode instead of just just blow up the inside of the TIE fighter. The only fuel cells that you see readily are the ones that Anaka's hiding behind.
Okay.
Or you, like, if you wanted to, you could try to cart some from the shuttle bay over there, back by the shuttle, but that would be kind of suspicious.
Okay, I think I'll go back over to where Anaka's hiding, and I will kind of try to plant it there and just be like, try not to draw attention to her, obviously. But then I'll get on the helmet comms, just be like, all right, are we ready for fireworks now?
Okay. With that, I'm gonna pause there, go back to Zadu real quick for something, and then we'll do our break, so we can catch Nikki up on what's been going on. Welcome, by the way. Welcome back in. Things have been going surprisingly smoothly. I'm
Why would you
very
say
surprised.
that? Why would you curse us with that?
Sorry. But yeah, we'll
She
catch
does
up
this
on
every time.
It's true. We'll catch up on the break, and we'll hop back in with Ilsa in the mix. But before that, there's something going on the prison level. So Zadu, I mentioned you hear somebody being tortured on this level. Do you want to go check that out? Lieutenant Perkins next to you is very nervous, like noticeably terrified to be here.
Absolutely, I'll check it out.
Okay. So as you try to go there, Lieutenant Perkins just kind of chimes up and, are you sure? I mean, it's really unpleasant. They're torturing someone over there. I mean, I'm sure you've seen worse, but not that I'm wanting to assume anything here, but it's just not the most pleasant thing. We have a really nice atrium on one of the other levels I could show you.
Shall we proceed?
Okay. It's kind of the voice that squeaks out of his mouth. And he just goes completely pale. It's kind of more pale the further he walks along. And when you get to the cell where somebody's being tortured, this is kind of what you see. You see someone sort of trying to think of how to describe this person. They're in somewhat plain, non-lavish looking clothes. Not exactly like a robe, but definitely more plain than your average normal citizen clothing. It's just like a basic white sleeveless shirt, and some pants that are like brown. No distinguishing features or markings on the clothing. Obviously, they've got a belt that clearly had something else in it. Like there's a holster that's empty, and you can see where there should be some pouches that have been taken off. And this person is set up on those torture racks, like the one you see Han Solo in The Empire Strikes Back. But instead of there being a machine that's zapping this person, it's just the table. And as far as you can tell, she looks female. Is sort of on this table that's been leaned back so that she's facing the ceiling. And you don't see any machinery that would cause that electrical zapping sound. What you do see, however, next to that table is if Shadow had been given physical form and put into a tall, foreboding figure, is kind of what this person looks like. They've got a hooded cloak, which is dark, but it somehow it doesn't look like fabric. It looks like they've literally made a hooded cloak out of shadow. So it's almost like smoky around the edges of it. You can't really see their face, but you can see a little bit of their waist, which you see a belt that has about 12 different lightsaber hilts on it. And they're all just sort of dangling there. And this person, this figure, reaches out a hand, and their arm seems very thin. It's in the sleeve of this cloak, which is hanging down a little bit at the wrist. But you can just make out the little bit of their arm, and their arm seems very thin and long, sort of lanky, with very long fingers. And some lightning shoots out of their finger and zaps this person that's on the table. It's just one quick little jolt before they turn, and you can see the hood section of this figure turn towards you with just, it looks like you're staring into the abyss. There's nothing on the other side of that hood. And that's where we'll take the break. So we're going to step away for about 10 minutes, give everybody a chance to grab a drink, stretch their legs. We'll get Nikki caught up on what's been happening, and then we'll come back for the second half of our show. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. we are back. So yeah, when we left off, Zadu, this creature, person, whatever they are, definitely unlike anything that you've ever seen. They look back at you, and you immediately feel just cold. What's your reaction?
Zadu would very much like to duel this individual.
Oh no. So no reason. Just random question. Are you sure?
You know, I made this character with the express. The idea was like, this guy really likes fighting one-on-one. Like, he's a big fan of, like, you know, he's a big fan of fighting.
Okay.
So
okay.
that's just the thought that's just permeating through his head. He's like, this could be a very good fight.
Sure.
Just thinking it though.
Okay. Lieutenant Perkins is beside himself with just like, you're pretty certain it would not take much to just make him wet his pants at this point. He's absolutely terrified. The dark figure doesn't say anything and just continues staring at you. Sort of expectantly.
Do not mind me, here on business from Admiral Pell, just to inspect the security on this vessel.
Figure just sort of takes that in for a moment. And seems a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? A little uncertain of what you're saying, and you just hear this sort of whispering, screechy kind of voice just say, "Admiral Pell sent you here." And it's clear that's a question, by their tone and body language, if you can call it that.
Yes.
Give me a deception roll.
Oh, cool. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. They choose to roll any deception check, but the result of the reroll must be accepted even if it is worse.
You want to roll again?
Another 11?
Yeah.
How much do I care about my life?
You want to roll again? Just
You have force points, I think.
I will attempt to roll again.
You also have a D6 that you can use from the cast pool.
I'm not gonna choose D6 for this.
20. Okay. You feel very convincing with your 20. You feel confident that you have presented yourself as Admiral Pell's hired staff. Absolutely no way that anybody would doubt that. And the figure just stares at you uncomfortably for like a little longer than you would expect after saying something like that. So even though you feel very confident in how you presented yourself and what you said, you start to doubt just a little bit. But after that long pause, this figure just goes, "I see. I see quite well. You may go." And goes back to zapping this person on the table. Vanessa, I'm sorry.
Right. Well, the temptation's still there, but reining himself in, Zadu proceeds out of the cell, or room, I suppose.
Okay. While that's happening, Anaka, could I get a use the force roll from you?
I guess so. Oh, that's a 17.
Yeah, that's enough. Your spidey senses start tingling. There's a very strong, what feels like a Sith. That same presence that you felt earlier, it's definitely stronger. And you're sensing this passively, so it's not like you're using the force so you're worried that they're gonna see you. It's more like you're in the dark and somebody just flicked a lighter on and now you can see where that lighter is.
Okay.
So you're not don't really have to worry about them seeing you right now, but you can definitely see them, and it's terrifying.
Excellent.
right.
Yeah, she doesn't particularly react for the moment.
Okay. All right. So Zadu, since you're not dueling this person, where are you going from here?
This close. Well, I want to see what kind of prisoners they're keeping. If any others.
This is the only prisoner on this level.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And it's clear from the fact that there are no other prisoners on this level. Who's doing the interrogating, and how everything is set up, that this is a high value target, or high value prisoner, rather, not target.
Okay. Is this the only place they keep prisoners? Is also another question I would ask.
Lieutenant Perkins, after finding his voice again, goes, there's one more prison level. It's on the other side of the Star Destroyer.
Seems so unfortunate. Okay. So on the other side.
This is like the high security wing, and then the other side is a little less strenuous in our security measures. Lower risk prisoners.
I'd like to see that as well.
Very well. That sounds great. Let's go there right away. And he walks much faster away from here than he did to get here, and escorts you over to the other wing.
I just want to force him to be here a little longer.
So mean. And yeah, you're able to get to the other wing, and yeah, the cells are a little less secure. The locks and stuff aren't quite as heavy duty, and yeah, there's some prisoners in here. From what you can tell, it's mostly like Imperial deserters, maybe some thieves, smugglers, that sort of thing.
Ah, yes. Very interesting. What's the guard situation looking like?
Lax. There's a couple of guards at each entrance into this wing. That's about it. The rest of the rooms are secured, so there's not like a bunch of guards in the wing. I also need I need to make you roll something else real quick. I forgot to have you do. There isn't. I was trying to remember mixing my versions of the system. There's not an insight, so let's just do a perception. Something that you may have noticed in the other wing.
Oh.
Roll 20's taking a second, I think. It's been a little laggy tonight. Come on, roll 20. Might have to just roll a die and then add your modifier to it. It doesn't seem to want to pull up. Is it showing up on your end?
Roll 20?
Yeah, the perception roll.
Oh, you want me to roll perception?
Yeah. Sorry. I thought you had rolled and then it just wasn't showing up. Okay, so 13. So you do notice one thing. There's a couple things you could have noticed, but one of the things, maybe it just pops into the back of your mind as you're inspecting this wing. The one where there's only the one prisoner, there were no loose objects anywhere on that entire level. Nothing that wasn't like firmly bolted down.
I'm gonna go there so bad. I'm gonna go back there so bad. But my new plan is break out some prisoners and cause chaos.
Okay. How would you like to do that?
Is there like a central sort of computer maybe where I can just open all the cells, make it easy on myself?
Yeah, let's say there's
I'm just saying.
let's say that much like on the Death Star, there's like a central room in the middle of this wing of the detention level that has all the controls, the cameras, the door controls, and all that jazz. There's we'll say about three officers sitting in chairs at these consoles. They're not the stormtroopers, so they're not like armored or armed. They're just at the consoles. There's a couple stormtroopers, of course, at every entrance and exit to this room, but not a lot of security.
Okay. I'll head right over.
So you're just walking up to the consoles where these guys are standing?
No, I like come up. I walk around from behind him, and I'm just like I'm inspecting, see if I can spot the button myself that will just release the hounds.
Okay. A couple of the stormtroopers leave their sort of guard post at the doors, and they do. Sorry, I had a cat hair in my eye. They do walk up towards you. They don't make any like aggressive moves or anything like that, but they do seem to be watching you a little bit more closely as you get close to the consoles. Give me a perception roll to see if you can spot the button to open the doors. 17. You do spot a button that would open the doors, and right above it is a port for a key cylinder. So you're able to tell that you'll need a key cylinder to open them. Which incidentally, all of these officers have.
How many officers in here? 3. And
There's three officers and about 6 stormtroopers total.
6 stormtroopers. I've got a question.
Okay.
I say to the officers.
Oh, gotcha. He sort of turns around and says, yes, how can I help you?
Out of all these prisoners you have, who's the most dangerous, would you say?
An odd question. Well, I suppose, I suppose TK325, the one on the far end, he deserted killed his entire platoon before deserting the Empire. He was quite dangerous.
Wow.
That would be the most dangerous on the swing.
Why is he not being guarded more securely?
Well, normally he would be, but our high security wing is occupied at the moment by someone more dangerous, and with much higher clearance than I have.
I see no reason a few of these, and I look up at the stormtroopers that have come in, a few of these extra hands couldn't guard the door.
Oh, our special guest has that well in hand, under their watchful eye.
Oh, a special guest? Tell me more.
I would love to, but it's classified, and I actually don't have the clearance to know anything aside from special guest, and that, well, quite frankly, they scare the piss out of all of us.
I'm gonna do a lot of I'm sure Pell would love to know about this. sort of posturing. It's like,
Okay.
oh, that'd be interesting for Admiral to know.
They all seem uncomfortable, but there's like not really anything else that they can do about it, so they just sort of sit there uncomfortably staring at you.
Either. I seem to have attracted a lot of attention.
Well, you are an outsider on our ship and on the detention level, so we do tend to pay a lot of attention to that sort of thing. I wouldn't take it personally.
Oh, no, this is very good. In fact, the Admiral will be very pleased by your lexicons.
That's good. They're just sort of like stuttering, unsure of what to say. And it's probably clear that like half of these people probably never seen a Mando before either. So you definitely catch that a lot of them are staring not just at you but at your armor.
Oh yeah. I'm now measuring the room, seeing how to proceed with this.
If you're trying to like, are you trying to figure out like, could you take everybody in this room, that sort of
Yes.
thing, or
Yeah.
let's do a knowledge tactics roll.
Knowledge tactics, something I should be good at, but I'm not. 13.
13. You're unsure. You're pretty sure you could take the officers, and you could probably take the stormtroopers too. You're not 100% sure, but you know that there'd probably be reinforcements, and the more you think about it, the lower your odds seem to feel.
I'm gonna do something like this. I need a distraction.
Yeah. I think it's a good spot to pause there. Let you ponder on that for a bit, and we'll hop back to the docking bay with the TIE fighters. So we've got Muxo and Ilsa. That you're well, I guess Ilsa is probably still hidden, but Muxo, you've been spotted and you're with Jai. Jai, you were getting ready to figure out what you wanted to explode, or no, you set the overloaded blaster by the fuel cells, right?
I had put it there, and I had calmed everybody to see if we were ready to get fireworks going.
That's right. So what is everybody's response to that? And Zada, you would be able to hear this on your comms as well.
I'm ready to buckle up and head out. Finger guns. Yeah. Oh yeah, she definitely does that.
Okay. What's the response from Anaka and Ilsa?
You said she also has some form of comms, right?
Yeah,
I'm also right there with you.
That's true.
Oh, right. Yes. So just for clarification, the fuel cells, are they outside of that bay or are they just inside?
They are inside the bay, just sort of like against the wall.
That works. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. No, Anaka kind of nods to Jai.
Is there any way I could stay hidden and like get closer towards where the fuel cells are?
You're actually I think if I remember where everybody was, you're actually right next to those fuel cells.
Can I
Or-
take them quietly?
They're kind of big.
Okay.
It's like a
Oh yeah, I'm using them as a
drum.
bomb.
That too. They're like the size of a 50-gallon drum, maybe a little bit bigger. So like they're big and heavy, and yeah, it would attract attention if you move it.
Do we have a plan on getting them out of there, or?
No.
Okay, of course not.
I push the button and they all blow up here as we're running away, hopefully.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I
Jai is a brilliant strategist.
I love Jai so much.
The solution, of course, is blow it all up.
Anaka looks to Jai and asks, "Is there an estimated time on the detonation of this makeshift bomb you have, or is it instantaneous?"
Okay, Raven, I would like to actually make a roll to know if I know, or even have a more specific guess.
Okay. I would say that you could do a mechanics roll, or a physical science roll.
Well, we're gonna do a mechanics roll,
I had a feeling.
but I don't know if this is actually gonna change my response. Oh, it might.
A 15. And the question is like an ish number of minutes.
Yeah, she's just concerned with, is it going to blow immediately or is there some time?
Jai wants to. I want to know if Jai has a good estimation of how long it'll take to overload.
Okay, so Jai would know that it's going to take somewhere between like 2 and 6 minutes.
Okay, that does inform how I answer this question. I look at Anaka and go, eh?
She narrows her eyes at you and kind of leans forward a little bit, and just the entire way she's held her body is like, are you kidding me?
Jai will lean forward too until he's basically like visor to eyes and just go like, isn't this a great day? We should get back to the shuttle, and connects the wire.
All right, so you've got between 2 and 6 minutes. Let me roll to find out which one that is.
Oh boy! I really hope Zadu was ready.
Okay. So I now know how many minutes you have.
Are you gonna let us know out of character how many minutes?
No.
It was worth a try.
It doesn't hurt to ask.
Even if the answer's no, we're still in the same spot we were before, so it never hurts to ask.
That's true. So you have an unknown number of minutes. What are you doing?
As soon as Jai kind of connects that wire, Anaka just like hisses at him through her teeth. And she just looks at him and she's like, "Get to the shuttle now."
Yes, ma'am.
I'm already leaving as soon as those wires go together.
Oh yeah, I definitely said that last bit like over the helmet system so everybody can know.
Okay. So I presume Muxo and Ilsa are grabbing ties at this point. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you trying to do so sneakily or just running in and strapping?
How much did Jai just
getting strapped
yell?
in?
Oh, it's all in the helmets.
I'm not trying to be
Oh.
sneaky anymore because I don't want it to be blown up.
Okay. There's a couple of deckhands, maintenance crew and things that are yelling at you, going like, hey, no, you're not allowed. You don't have authorization to be in there. But it's like they're scolding you. Really, they don't have weapons on them, so
Yeah.
they're just being flabbergasted and angry, essentially.
Okay.
Do you address them at all or just ignore them?
I'll yell something over my shoulder, like,
Hit him with those sweet, sweet finger guns.
yeah.
Alternatively,
I'm
hit
just
him with
trying to not
actual
do this in a
guns.
British accent because it's an Ace Rimmer thing. So basically, like, I'd get off this deck now and just keep running. Finger guns. I don't say finger guns. That'd be ridiculous.
That would be amazing. At any rate, he looks very confused and, like, isn't really returning the finger guns, but more just making the motion as if somehow that will make him understand it better. So it's almost like a questioning gesture. It's like, finger guns? And gradually there's a spark of realization of, like, something bad's about to happen. And you see him start running towards a console on the side of the wall. Anaka, that's actually going to be relatively close to where you are.
Yeah, let me open my book. Let's force slam him. Let's go.
Okay.
So whatever he's gonna be doing at that console, she does not want him to do it. And she is going to try to pound him with a force slam.
Okay. And I am drawing a blank. Is that basically like an attack roll? Or does it just happen? I can't remember. How that
Yeah,
particular
so
force power works.
I use the force, and I guess technically it would go against a fortitude defense.
Okay. What is the roll then? For your use of force?
It just says make a use of force check. If the result equals or exceeds a target's fortitude defense, it takes 4d6 points of force damage and is knocked prone.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll use the force. And what is this person's fortitude defense? Where is it at? Okay, what'd you get?
30.
Holy crap. Almost 3 times over, yeah.
Oh, great. I'm gonna use roll 20 to roll for the damage. What is it? 4d6.
13 damage. How much health does this guy have?
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's unconscious, and very near death.
Okay, just as long as he's unconscious, I would have been fine with just the prone part. But if he's knocked out, then that's good too. Just to
You
stop
said-
him from.
What was it? 13? Yeah, he is negative 3 hit points.
Great. Sorry.
So it's on then.
Yeah, so she, her initial thought was just stop him from getting to any sort of console, because that would be bad. But Anaka, she doesn't right away make any sort of move. She is waiting until the last possible second, until everybody else has taken whatever TIE fighters that they need to take before she moves from where she is. So at this point, she's still hidden.
Okay. Speaking of that, I need one more use the force roll.
Of course you do. All right. Hold on.
No reason.
No reason at all. Not exactly the same reason
Um,
it was the last time.
It's a 20.
Okay. You know that like the being in a dark room and somebody turns a lighter on, that analogy. It's kind of like a big candle now, like one of those 3-wick glass jar candle deals.
Right.
And you definitely feel like you've caught some attention.
Cool.
The good news is, the deckhand getting force slammed and nearly killed draws some attention away from all of you. One of the stormtrooper patrols runs over to try and figure out what just happened. And all the attention is off of you, so you are able to get to the shuttle quite easily from here if you would like to.
She does not want to move from her space. She doesn't want to go to the shuttle yet. We
Okay.
have plans, Raven. We have plans in place. We have to follow the steps.
Okay.
Oh, you're partnering up with the wrong person currently.
No, Jai, don't do anything. This plan does not involve you. Go back to the shuttle. Just like Anaka said. Just like Anaka said, go back to the shuttle now and don't worry about it.
Just making sure
This
that we're all on the
plan-
same page here. You do know you're standing next to a bomb, right?
Yes, I do. I certainly do.
Cool.
That's why it would be really great if the rest of you could get in your TIE fighters so that I don't have to continue to stand next to a bomb, but, that's just a friendly request.
Okay. We're going to hop back over to the detention level. Zadu, time is of the essence, and you are aware of this now. What do you want to do?
Oh. This is... What an interesting situation I find myself in. How much time do I have?
Between 2 and 6 minutes.
So think 2.
How long did it take me to get here?
I mean, like a few minutes, but you were walking slow and having a conversation with Lieutenant Perkins and whatnot. Like, if you're running...
It's gonna look suspicious if I'm running.
Maybe a little bit.
Oh, time's of the essence.
I will say this is not a suggestion, this is just letting you know. There are other docking bays with other spaceships on the Star Destroyer. It's a big one, so that's not the only docking bay that you can get to.
Let us see
again,
another.
That's not a hint or suggestion, just making sure you're aware of that fact.
Oh, it definitely sounds like a plan. I'm going to... How to play this off? Suddenly knowing I'm out of time. Yes. Well, they don't see that I have communicator or anything, right? So...
Nope.
Yes. I've been contacted by my team. Apparently, Admiral Pell would like to meet with us sooner than expected.
Okay. Make a deception roll with advantage.
That's just roll twice.
You
Okay, once.
That's better.
Nice.
You pretty much sold everybody on that you're part of Admiral Pell's delegation, if you will. So, 15. That's all you need. They're right on board with you. And at this point, everybody's so awkward and nervous that they're pretty much like, "Gee, hey, you gotta run, but what are you gonna do? All right, bye." And Lieutenant Perkins says, I of course can escort you back if you need, or if you feel comfortable getting back on your own, I can leave you here and get back to my duties."
Unnecessary for you to accompany me back.
Okay. So they let you just go. Mostly, he doesn't say this, but you probably figure it's mostly because Perkins doesn't want to go back down the maximum security wing again.
Ooh. I can do that, huh?
You could, if you'd like. How large of a bad decision are you wanting to make today?
Oh,
Is
my.
the question.
Something's going to happen in 2 to 6 minutes that might be a decent distraction.
Zadu, you get your butt back to that shuttle, young man. None of this today, sir.
So intriguing, though, to just a Jedi on the ship. So intriguing to see. Well, I'm going to start moving towards the elevator, at least.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to get to the elevator. At about this point, having had the conversation, Jai getting the explosive set, Anaka doing the force slam thing. All in all, collectively, it's been about 1 minute. So you've got between 1 and 5 minutes left collectively. Muxo and Ilsa, you're able to get into one of those TIE fighters and like start getting strapped in.
Are there any mementos scattered around, like the lucky guitar pick or something?
In the TIE fighters?
In the TIE fighter, the one I
No.
choose. Oh, shame.
No, they're all very clean military. Like everything is standard. Unfortunately.
Oh, they're new. That's right.
Yeah, they're brand spanking new. They still have that new TIE fighter smell on the inside.
Excellent. That won't hurt the resale value.
Nope.
Just don't smell anything.
Yeah. So the two of you are able to start getting strapped in and like start doing pre-flight, that sort of thing. So that's happening. Jai, are you actually going back to the shuttle as you were instructed?
Yes, because Jai, I think Jai has realized something. Lambda classes tend to have guns.
Yeah, they do.
And I'm inside a shield currently. And as soon as my crew's on board.
Okay.
Jai's an idiot. I love this boy.
He's great. Okay, so you head back to the shuttle.
Yup.
All right, and Anaka is planning on something. Is it time for your something yet, Anaka?
Yeah, she's gonna get started on it because if a minute's already passed, and she's like, "Yeah, let's go." So she makes her way over to the terminal now, and she takes the little cylinder with her, and puts it into the terminal, and she begins closing the doors that lead out of the bay. So like with the screen, kind of that field keeping in the oxygen from the outside. She closes that one first.
Okay. So you're closing. Sorry, which door?
So the one that leads outside, how the TIE fighters would get out.
Okay. In the bay with the TIE fighters where
the bomb is. Yes.
Okay, that is the bay where Muxo and Ilsa are gonna need to get out of.
Oh no, sorry, I misunderstood. Okay, she doesn't do that
Okay.
first then. Okay,
So
we'll
you've
just
got all
switch
the
it around.
TIE fighters in like the left bay, and then the shuttles in the right bay. So just as a clarification.
Right. Yes. Okay. Sorry, I had a brain fart that time trying to figure out my left and my right for a second.
I've been having
okay.
that all night. You're totally fine.
So,
Just like, what's this basic vocabulary word that I've known since
Yeah.
like 6th grade? I can't think of it now.
are they firing up the TIE fighters right away? She wants to close that door as soon as they're gone. So are you guys like firing those up now and leaving?
Elsa plans to do it if nobody stops her.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably would be able to hear like the engine starting up and like can see them pressing buttons and stuff inside the cockpit.
Yeah, so she begins to close the door as they're moving, so that, it times well that she doesn't crush them with the door, but also, it starts moving before it absolutely has to.
Mm-hmm.
So once they're out, there's nobody else of her team there, and she closes that outside door, and she wants to use the cylinder to kind of do the Pell was here. Question for me, would Anaka know this? If she were to fry this terminal, is it kind of like a black box deal where the signature would still be there if they dug into the system? Or if she fried that terminal, would that be it? Would that take out the signal as well? Would they still be able to access that information from a different part of the ship to see who was there last?
Yeah. They should be able to access that from a different part of the ship, yeah. Like it would be like logging into the cloud from that particular terminal. So yeah, the signature would still be there, just not on the hardware that you're frying, because it'll be fried.
Yes. Okay, perfect. That's what I was hoping for. So yeah, the goal is to close that door as soon as the two are gone, to leave that signature, and then she has a force ability called Ionize, which overloads machinery and potentially blows it up. So she wants to close the secondary door and blow the terminal and leave before the door is closed.
Okay.
So essentially locking everything into that room.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and use that power. Is there any like DC that you have to meet for that one?
Yeah, let me see. I have it written down somewhere. Ionized. One target within 6 squares. Use the force check. Compare the result of the target's reflex defense. So on a DC of 20, it takes 46 points of damage. 25 is 5d6, and 30 is 66.
So you just gotta get a 20, basically.
Okay. 22, yeah, so 46.
Okay. Yeah, it's sufficiently fried. It doesn't explode or anything like that, but it's sufficiently out of commission. Yeah, you're able to get that process started. The doors are starting to close as Muxo and Ilsa are starting to move those TIE fighters. Because this is a stressful situation and time is a factor, I am going to have a pilot check from Muxo and Ilsa. Not a super high DC, but it's basically just a... if you roll really, really low, that might be a problem. Ilsa's fine. You get out of the bay, no problem.
It's great. Where are we
I got
still?
this.
Holy
Yeah.
crap. Yeah, Muxo does like a barrel roll, out of the
I absolutely do.
out of the bay, like way showing off.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. So the door's shut. We're gonna again hop back over to Zadu. Are you going to the maximum security prison level, or detention level rather, on your way that direction, or are you going somewhere different?
Yes, I will.
Okay. You're able to get there, no problem. As you step out of the elevator, you can see that dark figure in the middle of the hallway, walking away from you, with the prisoner essentially levitating in midair, as if they were still laying on that table. But they're levitating next to them, the dark figure. And they're moving away from you, calmly.
Okay. I'm gonna wait a little bit till they're a bit further away, and then see if I can get back to the room that they were in.
As you, they do get a little bit further away. As you start to look in that room, you hear from down the hall. Like, you can tell the voice is coming from down the hall, but it
Oh
still
no!
also sounds like it's like right next to you somehow, which is a little weird. But you just hear the voice going, "Shouldn't you be joining your friends?"
It's a little early to be calling them friends.
Dude.
You really want to play a game of word choice right now, Sadu?
Yes, I would.
There's
It's my
not-
favorite game.
There's not much of a response to that. Just a suit yourself. And they keep walking away from you.
I'm wondering, is that lightsaber still in there?
No. They are all on this person's belt.
If only I had the Force. Oh, how regretful. Okay.
Oh, I almost suggested something, but I'm not going to give you bad ideas.
How regretful. Oh, I mean, he's walking down the hallway. I'm standing at the other end of this is a perfect duel setup.
It is.
This is this is the best setup you could get for a duel in Star Wars.
Do you want my bad idea? Because it is a bad idea.
I would.
I'll tell you what it
Raven,
is.
don't you dare.
I would
Raven,
love,
don't
I
you
would
dare.
love to hear it. I would love.
Well, it
to
was
hear
really nice getting to know your first character.
Yep.
I have no
I'm looking
problem
forward
making
to
a
your
second.
Ewok.
Ewok.
Isn't this what it's all for? The first session, you got to establish stakes, right?
I'm just saying, you know, Mando's on the gauntlets. You do have the grappling hook, rope thing.
Ooh. Yes. Yes, very much. What would a role with that entail?
Oh my goodness. You're really
Uh,
straight up gonna kamikaze your character, huh?
If nothing else, it's gonna give you all a really good look at what this figure can do. It would be
Exactly.
D20 plus Dex modifier plus base attack bonus.
Okay, D20
So,
plus
Level
Dex
3,
is
your
two-
BAB should be somewhere between 1 and 3. 1, 2,
so it's a
3.
it's a D20 plus 5.
Okay.
I'll just stuff it in the advanced roller. Hey guys, you know, before it happens, I just want to say I'm completely fine with my character dying because I
Oh,
make
good.
stupid decisions all the time. And also, this is such a Star Wars thing to happen if you think about it.
It really is. Space attack bonus. This is the way. I have spoken.
Natural 20.
Holy fuck.
Kill it. Kill the boss. Kill the boss. Session 2. Kill the boss.
Okay. With a nat 20, are you trying to grapple the figure, or are you trying to steal one of those lightsabers?
Oh, I'll grapple the figure. No. I'll steal a lightsaber.
Okay.
Dude, toys.
I mean, both are bad choices, just it's degrees of bad. And I think that's probably the better of the two. Yeah, you grapple onto one of those lightsabers and you pull it to you. It's a single blade lightsaber. Do you ignite it?
I really crit on that. Do I ignite it?
Yeah. Do you like turn it on and hold it, or what do you do with it now that you have it? I guess is what I'm asking. Also, a reminder: you have 3 destiny points because you're level 3.
I want to know the color of this lightsaber.
Okay. You light it up and it's yellow.
Nice.
All right, so that's your turn. It's this thing's turn. The prisoner gets flung into a cell, and a force field just goes over the door. So it's sort of just like we're gonna put this away. And it slowly turns around and looks at you, seeming kind of nonplussed, really. And it just sort of tilts its head just a little bit, and what you're guessing is its head. All you really see is this dark, shadowy, smoky type of material hood with just empty blackness inside of it tilt a little bit. And you just hear, "Are you really that brave or just that stupid?"
Why not both?
Okay, no los dos.
No need to wait for him.
With that answer, they kind of just laugh, and it's just like that. Oh, that's amusing. Tell you what, Mando. Take your best shot.
Got a lightsaber. Got what I haven't got what I came for, but got a lightsaber. I've just been challenged. What is my character's? Never mind. There's no use looking at that.
He came here for a duel.
All right.
Need to
I
look
guess
something up real quick too.
guess we're doing this.
Perhaps we will be blessed with a swift death so that the rest of us do not perish.
Oh, the rest of you will be fine.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Sorry, I just looked at I just looked at their reflex defense.
Oh no!
Oh yes. I want this to go bad. More than anything.
Yeah, so they're just standing there completely still, not showing any sign that they're like on guard or anything like that.
Pretty used to the lightsaber. What do I just use strength or dex?
With the lightsaber, yeah. I think technically it's a strength weapon according to the rules, but I think I've always viewed them more as a dex weapon. Whichever one you want to use, I'm fine with it, because you can use it in a couple different ways.
I'll add it really quick. Lightsaber type. Doing this on the fly, folks. Strength mod. It's going to be a D20 plus 3. Do I add BAB? No, right?
With lightsabers, you also add your base attack bonus. So base attack bonus and then either dex or strength.
No, it's a D20 plus 6. I'm sure this will hit.
So basically, just to put it in perspective for you, nat 20 or miss.
Yeah.
That's all you really have to worry about.
That's
Oh no!
that's literally how I thought it was going to be. No chance for a second nat 20? All right, cool. Makes sense.
Yeah, you describe how you're attacking with this lightsaber, what you're trying to accomplish here.
It's more of a how do I how to explain it? It's like the beginning of a maybe a fencer's duel.
Okay.
Where it's
So
sort
you're
of testing the waters.
Are you
'Cause
like,
I've
like
never-
thrusting with it then? Like
Yeah.
like you would fencing? Okay. As you thrust forward, you roll for this. Yeah, he's fine. So as you thrust forward, it's you're not sure if this figure has sidestepped, or if they just dematerialized and rematerialized to the side, because this cloak just has like this billowing smoke-like effect. But at any rate, at the end of it, you've thrusted forward, and now they're standing right next to you. You've got. Oh no, you would have had to use your move action to get up to them. So, you've got a swift action left. If there's anything you want to do with that.
Swift action.
Um,
Learning so much. I'm learning so much.
Yeah, so you've got your move action, standard action, and swift action in a turn. Swift action could be used to like flip a light switch or something like that. Pray is another thing that you could do with swift action.
Hmm. Can I kneel down?
Yeah, actually.
Hmm. I'm gonna pull a Qui-Gon from a Phantom Menace. I'm gonna kneel down, close my eyes, and think about how I got myself into this situation.
Okay. What happens next? If you have your eyes closed, then you'll just hear it, rather than see it. But I will describe all of it for the audience. This figure, 11 lightsaber hilts float out from their belt, seeming to pass through their cloak. And then they lift up and sort of blades point down towards you, almost in like a semicircle with like 2 or 3 lightsabers stacked, like with maybe a hand length between them. And they all ignite at once, point towards you, not close enough to actually touch you when they're fully extended. All of the hilts are different styles. They're all different colors. There's blue, green, yellow, purple. There's even a pink saber in there. Clearly not this person's lightsabers. And as that happens, the one that's in your hand starts to move. Just because you never know, you might get a nat 20. Let me get a... where is it in this particular one? Let's just do a straight up strength check.
Hey.
Okay, not enough. The yellow one in your hand, just you lose all control of it. It comes out of your hand and starts to go back to its master, but the blade just scrapes across your shoulder and chest plates as it goes by. Because you're in Beskar, it doesn't cut through you, and it's literally the only thing that saved your life. But any paint you would have had on your armor in that particular diagonal line across like your left shoulder plate down to the bottom of your ab plate, there's just a line where it's been burned off. Yeah, the lightsaber's just now 12, all blades pointing down towards you, doing the humming sound. And this figure just goes, "Are you sure you still want to play?"
I'm trying to stab one with my vibroblade.
Oh no! They're giving you an escape! Alright, go for it.
That makes my character irrationally mad. Play. Fight seriously or not at all. Well, I actually am taking notes during this.
All right.
I do. I just want to know everything we sort of know. Look at the damage on that, though.
Oh, that would have been great.
Imagine.
Yeah, you swing with the blade, it misses wildly. You see if they can accomplish this on their turn.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, they can. Basically, I just have to roll a nat 1 for it not to work. And I didn't. So, with you kneel down like that, having missed with the vibroblade, those 12 sabers sort of just circle around you, like at about neck level. You know, like the deal that Anakin did with Dooku, where it's like almost like scissor blades right at his neck.
Yes.
Kind of like that, except they're all the way around you.
That's such an awesome visual.
All these like rainbow color of lightsabers just completely around you. You've got enough room where, like, if you were to move over a couple inches in any direction, you'd start, getting too close of a shave with a lightsaber. And the figure just looks down at you and says, "Yield." Gives you one last, so it just says yield. Gives you one last opportunity to give up, basically. No worries.
Fine. So much pride. So much pride on the line. I'm not happy about this. Fine.
Zadu gives up. As you do so, the blades all shut off at the same time and just float back to this figure's belt. And they lean down, and it feels frigid as they get closer to you. Even through your Mando suit, like it feels cold. And they just sort of, not exactly whisper in your ear, but it's a little bit softer. And they just say, "Take a message back to your friend that I've seen her, and I'm most curious as to what she's capable of. We'll be in touch." And with that, they just grab the prisoner again and leave.
Just the last thing I want to say is, you're gonna regret not killing me here. There's nothing worse than a wounded warrior's pride.
They just sort of turn back and chuckle. Just this. What do I care about a wounded fly if it lives or dies? And then just exits.
I cannot wait to kill this guy.
Right? I've been so excited about this villain for months, literally now.
I love them.
So yeah, they leave. And about at that time, it's been at least 3 minutes, I'd say. So nothing's exploded yet. But you have between 1 second and 3 minutes before it's going to blow up. But that's plenty of time for Naka and Jai to get onto the shuttle, I think. Do you both leave immediately? Or do you do anything else?
Jai was heading up to go get the weapons warmed up in case we needed to add So yeah, he's gonna be up in there getting things turned on.
Okay.
Would Anaka have been able to like passively feel the energy coming out of this big bad as they engage with Zadu?
Oh yeah, very much so.
Okay, like the moment she felt that energy kind of surge, she was like, I am not waiting. I'm not getting blown up on the account of one idiot tin head. We're leaving. This tin can is on his last legs. I don't give a shit. It's not my problem. We said to meet back, so let's go. She takes off.
Okay. All right. Does Jai try to stop Anaka from taking off without Zadu, or are you going along with it?
As far as Jai knows, the plan was for Zadu to get in a tie.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all part of the plan. As far as he knows.
Poor sweet child does not see that the entire room that the TIE fighters are in is now closed off.
Nope, he's been focusing on a weapon, finding the weapon console.
You find it. You're able to start shooting into that bay if you want.
Not yet. He does want to make sure all of his friends or teammates are at least moving.
Okay.
Preferably once the main bomb goes off, we can add firepower.
Okay. I think it's safe to say Ilsa and Muxo have left. So it's really just Zadu that's left that you're waiting on.
So, comms, Zadu, now would be a great time to go.
When do I get this call?
Probably about the time that the dark figure left. Like right after the what do I care if a wounded fly lives or dies comment.
I feel like it might be earlier because I don't think Anaka would wait the full 3 minutes to leave. Like, can you imagine getting that calm, like, in the middle of thinking that you're gonna get your head cut off? Like,
oh, that's fair, actually, yeah. Probably when all the lightsaber blades are at your neck, yeah. That's probably when you would have gotten that.
Pretty
perfect timing.
Yeah.
So at that point, she would have started up the shuttle to leave.
Okay.
So a bit after that point, Zadu is trembling. Not from fear, but I'm going to go anime for a second. He's very excited that there's a very strong opponent that has left him alive, and now he just wants to go beyond that opponent.
So is Zadu just Star Wars for Goku?
He is now.
Oh boy.
He's like, oh, okay. There's something out there that's very strong, and I want to beat it in a fair fight.
Okay.
Have a sensu be.
Do you head down towards the docking bay with the ties, or are you trying to get to a different one?
I head to a different one.
Okay. About a minute then after you hear the, or I guess about a minute after the figure leaves, that's when there's an explosion. It was 4 minutes on the timer, by the way. There's a pretty decent sized explosion in that docking bay, enough that it rocks the Star Destroyer a little bit. Not like you're like launched off your feet or anything, but just there's a little bit of a tremor in the floor plates, and you definitely know something has happened. A few seconds after that, there's klaxons and red lights going off. As I assume Jai and Anaka are starting to pull out of the cargo, not the cargo bay, the docking bay.
She would have left as early as possible.
All right.
When I tell you that she is not waiting, she is not waiting. The earliest available opportunity for them to leave, that's when they left.
All right. I'm assuming whenever Anaka pulls out, that's when Jai starts shooting.
Yeah.
Okay. You're able to blow up one of the other shuttles that's in the bay and some of those those fuel cells. You can tell like the guns on this thing definitely have seen better days. They sound really bad, almost like an engine that's starting to ping on a car, like that kind of bad. But they work enough.
So, and when he hears that, he's gonna like pause in his random hitting of the fire button and just be like, "I could probably fix those," and then go back to just mashing it.
Yeah. You cause plenty of chaos.
Anaka tells you to aim for anybody who's seen any of the party.
Is there anyone left alive in this room that's not us?
Probably not.
Okay,
Good.
well then that's good.
Yeah. Maybe one or two of the stormtroopers might have gotten to cover, but yeah, most everybody that you interacted with is either dead or you know, running for their lives. All right, so the crew gets away. Zadu, you find that you have an eerily empty hallway and path to get to a different docking bay. And when you get to the docking bay, there's nobody in there. Almost as if somebody was making sure you get away.
I'll take it, but I'm not happy about this.
And in the docking bay is one of those TIE fighters. Just one.
If this Sith could hear my thoughts, he'd know that I am going to go through the meanest training arc!
Who's to say they can't hear your thoughts right now?
Going to eat so many muffins.
That's literally all that's consuming Zadu's mind. Oh, I'm going to make him regret that. I'm going to make him regret that a lot. I go for the TIE fighter.
Okay. Yeah, it's all prepped and ready to go. You're able to take off and join your friends. Or fellow mission mates, I guess, since you were saying friends might not be the right word.
Oh,
Again,
yes.
rude.
And yeah, with that, you are able to escape. On your way out, anybody looking over their shoulder or like in a rear view screen would see that docking bay with the TIE fighters just explode. As the door that was closing them in, it just gets like blown out into space. And so this giant Imperial Star Destroyer has this little, jet of flame shooting out of one of those docking bays. And you've definitely caused some chaos and confusion. And seeing as you all have hyperdrives, you're able to jump to light speed and get away. And I think that's probably where we will end the session, unless anybody has anything they want to say to each other over the radios. All right.
Anaka makes it a point to not say anything.
Oh, Jai has his hand up for a high five right to her. Just like, ah?
She shoots you a look and then continues to pilot.
We'll get there.
Oh, I guess Zadu will just mention that there was a Jedi on board. Not the Sith guy, a Jedi.
Okay. Any comments on that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah. And with that, of course, we'll have to do a camera pan at the very end. We do see that dark, shadowy figure again holding their prisoner in this sort of levitation. Board something that looks very much like the ship that Darth Maul used to fly around in the prequels. Looks kind of like that, but a little bit different. Like the same design, but it looks like the metal is different, like made from a different alloy. and it takes off away from the Star Destroyer, and off into a different direction from the route that the party took, and that's where we'll end the session. That was fun. I had a blast with that. I am so glad you got to meet that villain. I knew they were going to be on the Star Destroyer, but I didn't actually anticipate you running into them. Because I didn't expect anybody to be like, oh, I'm going to go to the detention level.
That's me.
Running head first at full speed.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. We're gonna go around and let everybody talk about what their favorite part of the session was, where we can find them next, and plug anything that they want to plug, and then we're gonna go on a raid. Let's start with Par. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you? And anything else you'd like to share?
Favorite part? I like the whole just escape scene as a whole. You know, really covering our footsteps as far as going Superman, though.
The armor just turns yellow all of a sudden.
That's a good one. No, I love the whole escape scene as a whole. You know, getting the TIE fighters, getting the shuttle, getting out of there. Feels very Star Warsy to me.
Awesome. Where can we find you next?
You can find me tomorrow at I forgot what time, but you can find me tomorrow on I forgot the name as well. Well, you can find me tomorrow here on this channel.
Tomorrow is Friday, and you are in the Mouth of the Beast Below. Is that right?
Yes.
Did I get that right? Okay. It's been a week. Yeah, so that'll be 6 p.m. Mountain Time, or 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Mr. Par4E, although I might be changing that handle very soon.
Okay, cool.
Good shots.
All right. Then let's hop over to Hope. Favorite part, where can we find you, and anything else you'd like to share?
My favorite part, I really did like the tour of the detention deck. That was very entertaining and suspenseful. I enjoyed it a lot. You can find me on Twitter at HopeTracy71, and on Mondays on Lady Sado's channel on Tales of Trahit.
Awesome. Also, quick thank you. Just double checked the tweet before we head off, and we reached 10 retweets and or replies, so that is a D6 to me as well. Thank you so much. I'm sure I'll use that for not nefarious purposes. Hopping up to Matt, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you, and anything else you want to share?
Oh boy. I mean, it was definitely us meeting the big bad immediately. That's always a fun time. Loved that. And the whole thing with the lightsabers, like, just all around Zadu was wonderful. That was so good. You can normally find me next tomorrow morning, but I'm not streaming tomorrow morning because I'm going to rest after the last 2 days I've had. So you can find me tomorrow night, hopefully, streaming on my channel, Jam Game Streams. We'll be streaming some Blackout Club, hopefully. And then you'll be able to find me normally Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings at 10 a.m. Central Time on that same channel. I have a podcast called Hard Reboot, where me and two friends take public domain properties and give them a fresh coat of paint. We recently dropped an episode earlier this month. We'll be dropping another one in February. It's a great show. And I'll have some other projects coming out soon-ish. And the next place you can catch me on this channel is going to be on Saturday. Yeah, for the time travel game.
Awesome. Fantastic. Next, we've got Nikki. Favorite part? Where can we find you? And anything else you'd like to share?
It's hard to think of a favorite part. I'm always bad at this portion.
I am too. I usually end up picking like 5 because of the crazy stuff all of you do.
This is too hard, so I'm just not going to pick one. Is that okay?
That's totally fine.
Okay. And my Twitter handle's down there, Nick Cool. And I'm back tomorrow. I'll be more awake tomorrow.
No worries. I'm hoping I will be too. I'm pretty out of it today as well. Last but not least, Vanessa, favorite part? Where can we find you? And anything else you'd like to share?
I think everybody kind of covered the bases for favorite parts. I found myself with my face buried in my hand most of the session. A shout out to Zadu for just being incredible. Whether that's a good incredible or a bad incredible is yet to be fully understood, but we'll see, I suppose. Other than that, I really just enjoyed the whole Anaka has a plan. But no, Jai, that doesn't include you, so go back to the ship. That was great. Yes, there is a plan, but you were not involved. Please go away. But no, I love Jai as the character so far, and I'm really excited to see what else comes up with him as well. But as for me, you can find me, what is today? Thursday? You can find me on Saturday for Animus Absentus, Saturday evening. And then as well, back again next Wednesday for another episode of Exodus, where I DM. Yeah, and you can find me on my Twitter. My art Twitter is @PepperoDraws. It's pepper like the candy. And you can also check out my work on my coffee page, which is coffee.com/PepperoPrincess. Oh yeah, it's cool.
Fantastic. That just leaves me. Favorite part? I can't pick just one either. All the stuff with Zadu was fantastic. Absolutely getting to show off the levitating lightsaber thing, because I've been sitting on that for a couple months now, just in prep, and was so excited about it, and was not expecting to be able to pull it out this early. So I'm really, really excited. And really enjoyed that. I also love that Anaka's like, I'm gonna just force slam this guy and basically put him in a coma essentially.
That was not the intention.
I know,
I
but
just
it was still funny.
wanted to stop him.
Everything with Jai was just great. I think Jai and Anaka need like the buddy cop show now, the buddy space cop show.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We will wreck planets in our arguments. It'll be wonderful.
Yeah.
I promise you all, Ilsa can talk. I promise you.
Yeah. And Muxo and Ilsa stealthing around was great too. Just doing all this stuff for a while before being spotted. And the fact that just worked out well with Nikki not being here for the first half, because Ilsa was just stealthing super hard. It was
maybe
great.
I was stealthing too.
Yeah.
We just didn't exist, either of us.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was rolling so well. I had advantage because you were assisting.
Exactly.
Yeah. But the whole thing was a lot of fun. I love this crew already, and we're gonna have some wacky sci-fi adventures. It's gonna be great. We're gonna go. Where you can find me next? Tomorrow at noon, we'll be doing session 1 of Beyond the Wall, which is a Monster of the Week game, GM'd by Yasmin. I'll be playing Mare, who is a if Scarecrow and Raven, like DC's Raven, had a child and then that child grew up with Batman as their role model, that's basically Mare. She's pretty fun. And then we've got session 0 of Mouth of the Beast Below tomorrow night at 6 p.m. I'll be playing in that as well. That's a Zweihander game. And then of course Saturday we've got Time Travelers at noon and Animus at 6 as well. So that's the everything going on the rest of the week. Other things to plug: Fundamental RPG is second edition is still available for pre-order. Just coffee.com/Raven, like it says at the bottom of the page here, the bottom of the screen rather, and you can find the shop there. That's where you can pre-order Fundamental RPG second edition. Which the prices are discounted right now during pre-order, so those will go up a little bit once that's done, and those prices do include shipping for the physical paperback versions. So do keep that in mind. And you can also find Intrepid products there as well. And order commissions. You can do a whole bunch of stuff there. Go check it out. And then we're going to go on a raid. We're going to go raid Riley, who is currently doing, looks like some sort of punch needle. I've never heard of that before, but it looks really cool. And looks like she's making a Zuko project. So we're going to go do that. Our raid cry is, I want to duel them. That's there in chat. Feel free to copy and paste. And then, yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.